So I believe not every film should be a pan-India film, but if you have a product which has a market, then you have to explore that market. It only makes sense to explore that market. See, now if you come to North India, obviously South India always recognized Bollywood actors. Like we knew, like I have watched Bollywood films right from my childhood. But the North Indian crowd, they didn't recognize the South Indian actors. Only few of them travel, like Kamal Haasan sir or Rajnikant. And this market grew so big that Bahubali dared to come in theaters as well, and KGF dared to come in theaters as well, and that's where we are moving towards. And I think now North Indian crowds are also recognizing. And today we are in a place where we can do a Kannada film, and if it can reach any audience, it'll reach. So I don't have to come and work in Hindi. It's been 5 years, more than 5 years since Kirik Party released, and it was bought then. So I don't know why they are not making it. I wish they made it. I think Kartik Aaryan was a very good option. I was very happy when Kartik Aaryan was approached.
But do you feel like you have kind of are much more on a cordial terms today with Rashmika?
Yes, of course. Yeah, we in the sense I wish her on her birthday, she wishes on my birthday, and we are on a very friendly terms.
Hello everyone, this is Akash Bhatnagar. You are watching Bollywood Bubble, and today I'm sitting with a man who is a maverick, not just in front of the camera but also behind it. So Rakshit Shetty, welcome to Bollywood Bubble.
Hi, pleasure being here.
I have to say I watched the trailer of 7 Charlie and it has struck a chord with me. I have to say that I'm not that big of a dog lover. But after watching this film, I think I might be one. So I have to first ask you, how different is a 4-legged co-star than a 2-legged one?
Oh, it's very, very different. Very different. Working with the 4-legged co-star is 1,000 times more difficult than working with a regular actor. Because when you are acting with another human, at least there is an interaction. There is some coordination which happens subconsciously or sometimes consciously, and that okay, as soon as you tell this dialogue, there's a reaction from there, and you have to. Acting is nothing but reacting, right? So you can only react when there is someone acting from that side. But the dog is doing few tricks. She is not acting, and I am supposed to make it act as well, because I am taught few commands, and she listens to the command and does few tricks. But me commanding, that shouldn't come across in the camera as a command. It should come as my acting. So it is very difficult that way.
But it must happen a lot of times. Like you are in the complete zone of your own, like completely immersed in the scene, and the dog does something different.
I mean, in this film, I couldn't go to that zone. Yes, I have gone to that zone in the second half, where probably Charlie had she had gotten used to the sets by then. But otherwise, in the first half was really a torture, because in a sense I was not prepared for what was coming next. All my films before this, the experience is very different. And when I accepted to do a dog film, I knew it is not going to be easy, but as soon as I went and started working on set, now this started testing my patience to the next level. Because any other film, you normally take 3 or 4 takes for each shot, and then you go to the next shot. But here it's like going for 30 or 40 takes, because Charlie is not performing, and I am supposed to give my best in every take, because you don't know when Charlie will perform, and at times it completely starts testing your patience. But then there is also Charlie off screen, as soon as the shot is over, we get to play with her. All that, and then again the kind of unconditional love you get from her is something which we all crave for in the sets.
But like the next thing that has become in Indian cinema today is the term pan-Indian. This film is also a part of it. But today when you hear the word pan-Indian, what is your kind of reaction to it? Do you kind of there must be that happiness, that kind of the acceptance that is coming, the nationwide, that everything that people are being more open and accepting to the cinema that is existing elsewhere. But sometimes does it get a little bit annoying that every film, every regional film has to be the pan-Indian, otherwise people just be behind it like अब तो इसको pan Indian बना के छोड़ना है.
So, see, when you make a film and you look around and see there is a market, and if just by dubbing the film, you can actually explore that market. It's a crime if you don't explore it, right? Because there's a good investment which is gone for the film. There is a good amount. I mean, more than when I say investment, more than the money, I'm talking about time. For example, for Triple Sun Charlie, we have given 3 years to make this film. We have shot for 167 days, and I know for the fact that we ourselves can't make Triple Sun Charlie again. Let alone some other team coming and doing the film. We ourselves can't make it. So when we have made this now, it only makes sense because there are dog lovers across the country, and if you don't tap that market, then it's a waste of a good product. So I believe not every film should be a pan-India film, but if you have a product which has a market, then you have to explore that market. It only makes sense to explore that market, especially when the whole world is going global. Today we are sitting here and watching Narcos, which was made somewhere, which is made in some other language which we don't understand, but we watch it in subtitles. We are watching Squid Games. So when the world is moving towards that, I'm not just saying regional cinema, I'm saying Indian cinema should come up with content which where the world is the market. And I think filmmakers have to this is the time when we can show Indian cinema to the world.
When we talk about pan-Indian films, like as you said, like every film cannot be pan-Indian, but like you are not just an actor, you are a producer, you are a director as well. So when looking at projects, does that thought becomes kind of much more in front in your mind that we should explore that appeal of that film?
No. I think if you start making films thinking that I want to make a pan-India film, then I think that is a wrong route to take. Because see, as an actor or as a filmmaker, I want to express myself. Now I can't say that I'll express myself to the whole country. No, I can express myself and then see my expression can travel across the country, or it is since I belong to this region, my expression belongs to this region. So I know that I can make a film to this region. But if my expression can be traveled through, if there is a market where this expression will be valued, then why not? So you can't keep that pan-India in mind, and then you can start accepting projects as a filmmaker or as an actor. As an actor, I would want to play different roles. Now, every role, if I think that every role I play has to be pan-India, it has to be belonging to a film which goes pan-India, then I'm restricting myself. I can only do certain kind of roles. That's all. Whereas an actor, I want to explore myself. My next film, Saptasagara Chelo, is not going to be a pan-Indian film, but since Charlie has travelled across the country, people would would have recognized me, and a few of them would want to watch my next film. So they will watch that film probably in Kannada with subtitles. But that film need not be dubbed in Hindi, or even if it is dubbed, it will come on TV channels and not a theatrical release. That has been happening for a long time now. Most of the South Indian films are dubbed and it comes on Set Max or things like that. Or at least on OTT you will have a preference that if you want to watch it in Hindi, you can watch it in Hindi, but need not be in theatre. And my film after that is again it's a very regional specific, like it only covers the west coast, but it also comes to Bombay, so I might release it in Marathi or just Kerala, Malayalam, but not probably Tamil Nadu, because they might not relate to the story which is placed there. Or once the film is ready, probably if people think that this subject is actually so unique that it can travel places because this story has to be heard, then why not? You don't keep pan-India in mind and accept the projects, but once the project is ready, probably then it is if there is a market, then it is a crime if you don't explore it.
And also like Wikipedia now also kind of says that the actor is not a Malayalam actor or a Kannada actor. It says an Indian actor who predominantly works in the so language. So when kind of the change has started, that even a global platform like that recognizes you as an Indian actor, you see that change kind of happening in real time as well, in the perception of the people.
Of the people. This is the start, I believe. You know, it's not come there yet, but there is always a start, and we are moving towards that. Probably another 5 years down the line. I mean, see now if you come to North India, obviously South India always recognized Bollywood actors. Like we knew, like I have watched Bollywood films right from my childhood. But the North Indian crowd, they didn't recognize the South Indian actors. Only few of them travel, like Kamal Haasan sir or Rajnikant. You know, there are hardly few people who traveled. But now, because like probably 10-15 years back, when the South Indian films started getting dubbed and started coming on TV, like channels like Set Max or Z Cinemas. That is when people started getting to know about the South Indian films because of the dubbed content, and this market grew so big that Bahubali dared to come in theaters as well, and KGF dared to come in theaters as well, and that's where we are moving towards, and I think now North Indian crowds are also recognizing. Most of them know which actor from which industry he comes from. At least a big chunk of crowd knows now.
Yeah. And when a film like KGF Chapter 2 breaks all records, becomes the highest grossing film ever, how does it kind of paves the way for you as a person who predominantly works in Kannada films? How does it kind of paves the way for you, changes the kind of scenario for you working forward?
See, it opened a perspective for us, and it also opened, now the mindset of the people also changed. Now people are ready, if the film is good, irrespective of which language, the original language it comes from, as long as you dub it nicely and make it look like a Hindi film. When I'm watching the film, I shouldn't feel that it's dubbed. If it looks like originally shot in Hindi, and if it takes me to a roller coaster ride of emotions, then why not? So that's the mindset now people are in because of KGF and because of Pushpa. And since that has happened, for us, I'm sure it is going to help 777 Charlie now.
For also, you have been behind the camera. You have been a producer for a long time. You have been a director, and you have been an actor. But once you have tasted that kind of having the whole reins of the vision of the film, how to kind of move it forward, how to take it ahead, and mold everything according to your vision, how difficult does it become at times to kind of surrender to someone else's vision? Especially at times when there's a clash between the way you think it should happen and the director is on another page.
To be frank, if I'm not written the subject, and if I'm not directing, if I'm only acting there, then I am completely director's actor. I work with people whom I believe in, and if I don't believe in, I don't work with them. So once I believe 100%. There's no doubts there. And after that, if he asks me to do anything, I'll do it. So that's how I work. And obviously, see, there are times when probably sometimes the director has to convince me that because unless I'm convinced to do few things, unless I'm convinced inside, it won't come naturally. So the director sometimes has to convince me. But otherwise, I believe in the directors I'm working with.
Like, it was 8 years ago your debut directorial came out. And correct me if I'm wrong, I read somewhere that you are ready with your next one to come out. So how was it getting back to the director's chair after such a long time?
So I'm not, in the sense, see, even if I've, although it's been 8 years since I've directed a film, there are 2 films which I've written, but I've not directed, like my friends have directed. So although I was not directing that film, I was on the set with my friends, and doing a lot of work which probably a director does. So I've not lost my touch when it comes to direction. But going back to see the film which I'm directing next, I'm also writing it now, and that script is a prequel and a sequel of my first direction, which means that after 8 years, it's the same film I'm re-exploring. and that film was about one incident and five perspectives about one incident. So not five perspectives, not just five perspectives, but five stories which leads to one incident, and these five stories are told by 10 different perspectives. And one, you understanding what I'm saying? So one journalist takes note of these 10 perspectives of five different characters, which leads to one incident. So that was the film. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking one character out of those five characters and exploring him. And what? So this film wasn't about an incident. This film is about the character. So his life. There are two parallel stories basically. One is his from his childhood to that incident of my first film, and the second story is from that incident to until his death, or not death, but until his life story ends. So there are two parallel stories running like that, and it intermingles like together. And again, these two stories are also perspectives now, from different people. So I am exploring that idea of perception to the next phase.
Yeah, I think like you have opened a Pandora box, because if this one works now, you have opened कि मतलब बाकी के जो चार characters थे, अब उनको भी you can explore like that. So there are 4 more films.
मतलब वो character भी आएंगे इस film में. But as a main lead,
but then आपका अपना खुद का Marvel होगा. I think like you can create a whole universe. So is that kind of a longer aim, that to create kind of a universe out of it?
Not this, but I have plans of that.
Yeah, and like I also read that you are kind of voicing your own character in Hindi as well.
Yeah.
For this time. So is it like a warm up to come into Hindi cinemas soon?
No, I'm happy doing Kannada films, and because today, see, that is where I'm born and brought up, and that I'm comfortable with the language, and that industry has already given me a big platform where there is a good market. I've grown there. And today we are in a place where we can do a Kannada film, and if it can reach any audience, it'll reach. So I don't have to come and work in Hindi, but probably someday if there is one character which probably suits me the best, and someone wants to work with me, then if I like the subject, then why not? I'm not closing the gate completely. But otherwise I'm happy with what I'm doing.
Yeah, and also like your film Kirik Party, a few years ago there were a lot of chatter about its remake happening, like Kartik Aaryan, Jacqueline Fernandez's name kind of popped up.
Yes.
But it's been 2 years, there hasn't been any development. Is it happening?
It's been 5 years, more than 5 years since Kirik Party released. And it was bought then. So I don't know why they are not making it. I wish they made it, so that when I made Kirik Party 2, probably people would have watched it.
मतलब उसका base भी बढ़ जाएगा. So there will be a much larger audience for it. But who do you think can justify your role in the film? Who should be the lead player in there from Bollywood?
See, I mean, I believe any actor can can pull it off if he understands both the characters what I've played there. In the sense, the first half I am certain kind of karna that has to completely come from here, from the heart, because I've enjoyed it, to the fullest when I was playing that role. So anybody who can give that heart, to the first half, can play that role. The second half is more of he's a little works from here, not here. So I think that is a little easier when it comes to play it. Just that you need to have that rough and tough look.
Yeah, but wishlist तो कुछ हो सकती है ना, मतलब कि
I think Kartik Aaryan was a very good option. I was very happy when Kartik Aaryan was approached. But for the female lead, I thought they should go for a newcomer, because the idea of Kirik Party one was, other than my character, I wanted every character to be a new face, because it should be people should be traveling with me inside the college, and when you go inside a college, every face is a new face, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as you see a known face there, you're like, oh, I know this guy.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen. So every face inside the college should be a new face. But only the main lead, that is Karna, he can be an established actor because you're supposed to travel with one guy.
But have you been approached for any other of your films for a remake?
Actually, to be frank, from Mulidoro Kannante, people have been approaching. Mulidoro Kannante also, they had approached. Somebody wanted to buy the Hindi rights. At that time, I was not sure because I wanted to make Mulidoro Kannante in Hindi then, at that time. So I didn't give it, but I should have given it then. After that, I think Kirik Party to gaya. ASN we have sold the rights.
Okay.
And 777 Charlie to we are dubbing it. And
yeah, that is the releasing pan India itself. So ASN ka rights, if you have given, has there been in development that you have?
I don't know because it's very recently we have given it.
Okay.
Since we had not released it in theatre, the Hindi version we had not released it in theatre. It came on Amazon and all.
Yeah.
So somebody wanted to buy it. Why do you want to buy it? But they were very keen. They wanted to explore that world.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, fine.
I like that modesty. Like, why do you want to buy it?
No, we had dubbed it and released it at least online. जब हम लोग पूरा dubbed already लोग देख चुके हैं. I think a small chunk at least.
Yeah.
Why do you want to remake that film? So, but people were interested. So.
Yeah. And like, while talking to, I realized that cinema is kind of very unifying. Even if we don't belong to we don't consume this kind of maybe the same language of cinema or the same industries that we belong to, but that is a unifying factor. Today, more so than ever, like when people are accepting films like Pushpa, RRR, KGF, it shows that, and people have the excitement for 777 Charlie, it shows kind of that the unifying factor about it. But a lot of people kind of use it as a divide as well, like the North versus South debate, or like since South films are performing, the people are saying Bollywood is over, or vice versa, things like that. So when cinema is used instead of unifying as a divisive kind of a platform, how do you see that?
See, I believe everything in this world is in a process of evolution. Every human is, we have evolved from a single-celled organism to a human, and as a human also we are all evolving, right? Every person is a different person, and probably we every one of us will stop being a Buddha someday. So when it comes to cinema also, every industry is in a process of evolution, and sometimes to stop something, something will take over. It is only until a certain point where, for example, this industry will start. Now the South films are getting noticed. Only until probably the Bollywood realize few things, and they will correct and they'll get back. Because it's a cycle. It's always a cycle. But it doesn't mean that Bollywood is over. That is impossible.
I think no industry can be said कि it is over. It's always evolving. Things are changing. People are trying out new things.
Correct.
There would be failures, but there will be success as well.
Correct.
Because people learn from mistakes.
So there's always trial and error, and I think filmmakers in the North probably are supposed to understand few things, and they're supposed to adopt it in their upcoming scripts. And I'm sure after that happens, probably the South Indian film industry also will go into a cycle, and there will be a time when we'll also have to learn from something from the Bollywood, and we also will have to evolve. Basically the cycle will go on.
Yeah, and like your stardom, the stature that you enjoy, kind of connects you to people, but it also kind of puts you under scrutiny of them. Like you become open to judgment, your personal life becomes open to judgment, you have seen it yourself, you have faced the brunt of it. So does it ever come a point for you where you kind of regret or feel the need to maybe step away from the limelight?
I have always stayed away from the social media as much as possible. I don't bring I'm not in front of the camera all the time. You know, it's only during the promotions I come out. Otherwise, I am very comfortable inside my own world where I'm making films. But otherwise, also I to be frank, don't give too much. I don't give too much energy to something which doesn't, to be frank, doesn't matter to me. Like, on the social media, people talk. They'll make their own comments, and I would like to answer everything in my films. So which is why I keep making films on perception. Because what is perception? Ultimately it's what you have heard, what you have seen, the gossips all put together. Makes a perception, right? So whatever comes on the social media about me is not true. Only I know what is the truth. And it's just that I'm not coming there and telling, I'm not correcting it. It's okay, whatever is there, let it be. So it doesn't bother me. And I tell people that don't believe anything.
Like it's, I remember when I was researching about you, when I was reading about you, it's been 4 years since you and Rashmika ended a relationship, and a lot has been said then, a lot was said then, a lot of fingers were raised, but it's been 4 years. Do you feel like people have still not been able to kind of get beyond it, even though you have?
They'll make, get me married with 1,000 different actors, and then they'll be satisfied, I think. No, I mean, I think that's how the world is, you can't stop it.
People like to poke it further because I remember seeing your wish for her last year. Like, it seems like you are much more on cordial terms, but people don't like that happening because people want that kind of spice.
I mean, so they want to dig it, basically. Even if you have created even if you cement it, they still want to dig it.
Do you feel like you have kind of are much more on a cordial terms today with Rashmika?
Yes, of course. Yeah, we in a sense, I wish her on her birthday, she wishes on my birthday, and we are on a very friendly terms that way.
And I have to say, like the trailer of 777 Charlie and your transformation in the SSE poster that I saw made me love you as an actor.
Thank you.
After talking to you, it made me love you as a person more.
Thank you.
Wishing you loads and loads of love and luck for 777 Charlie. It's looking amazing. I can't wait to see it, and hoping we get to speak a lot more on your next visit to Mumbai, or maybe I come to Karnataka to speak to you. But thank you so much for this conversation. Hope you had a great time, because I did.
Yeah, same here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Hi, this is Rakshit Shetty. You're watching Bollywood Bubble. Please like, share and subscribe.